All right, question 2. We've got solid iron 3 hydroxide decomposes to produce iron 3 oxide and water vapor. If 0.75 liters of water vapor is produced at STP, we've got two parts here. So let's start with our equation. We've got iron 3 hydroxide. So iron 3 hydroxide. All right. And that's going to yield Fe2O3 plus H2O. Okay, now I went ahead and balanced this ahead of time. So I'm going to write out my balanced equation. 2FeOH3. That yields our iron 3 oxide and 3H2O. Right. So part A is asking for how many grams of iron 3 hydroxide were used. And we're given that we have 0.75 liters of water vapor. So I'm going to start with that since that's what's given. So 0.75 liters of H2O. Now it's important to look at the question and see what it's asking for. It's asking for how many grams of iron hydroxide were used. So at some point we're going to have to convert to grams. So since we're in liters going to grams, we need to first convert our volume, our liters, to moles. So for every 1 mole of H2O, we're going to get 22.4 liters of water. Now I can go ahead and use mole bridges or ratios to compare my water to my iron hydroxide. So if we look at the chemical equation, we've got 3 moles of H2O to 1 mole of iron hydroxide. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm supposed to be looking at this. Alright, so for every 3 moles of H2O, we have 2 moles of iron hydroxide. Okay, and now we're in moles of iron hydroxide. We need to convert that to grams. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this on. So for every 1 mole of iron hydroxide, we have a molar mass of 106.87 grams of iron hydroxide. Okay, and that will yield 2.4 grams of iron hydroxide. Right, there's our answer for part A. Part B, which I was accidentally trying to do earlier, we're going to be comparing the other product. So I'll go ahead and write that out. Again, since we're given 0.75 liters of water vapor, we're going to start with that. So 0.75 liters of H2O. We need to convert that to moles. So for every 22.4 liters of water, we get 1 mole of water. And we can go ahead and make our comparison. This is the one I was trying to do earlier. So for every 3 moles of water, we have 1 mole of iron oxide. So for every 3 moles of water, we have 1 mole of iron oxide. Okay, and I need to go ahead and convert that to a mass, since that's what the question is asking for. So for every 1 mole of iron oxide, we have a molar mass of 159.68 grams of iron oxide, and that will yield 1.8 grams of iron oxide. Okay, as I've said in class before, you can stop after each step and perform your calculation. So like I could just do this part, get my number, and then plug that number into here, get that number, and then plug it into here. I find that doing the mole bridges, so going from left to right all as one continuous equation, is easier because you're not going to be rounding at each step. So like this would be step 1, this would be step 2, this would be step 3. If you're not stopping and rounding, you're going to get a much more accurate answer. So I find that this is generally the best way to do it.